Shadows in the moonlight. As the autumn nights grew longer and the moon climbed high in the ink-black sky, a quiet town nestled in the heart of America found itself shrouded in a creeping sense of dread. Shadows danced under the pale moonlight, twisting and contorting like phantoms on a twisted stage. Whispers of the supernatural drifted on the chilly breeze, casting an unsettling aura upon the unsuspecting residents. In the hushed streets, beneath the flickering street lamps, glimpses of eerie figures skittered through the corners of frightened eyes. A child playing in the park caught sight of a pale-faced silhouette peering from behind a gnarled oak tree, disappearing as quickly as it had appeared. A weary couple, hand in hand, hurried their steps as they sensed an unnerving presence stalking them, though their frantic glances revealed nothing but the inky abyss of the night. Rumors spread like wildfire through the town, fueling the flames of unease and anticipation. Whispers of clowns, their features twisted and distorted into nightmarish grins, filtered through the community, seeping into every conversation and corner. Some claimed to have glimpsed them lurking in the abandoned corners of the town, while others swore they had heard the unnerving shuffle of oversized shoes on deserted streets. Each passing day brought a mounting tension, an unspoken fear that clung to the air like a vengeful spirit. The town's collective imagination ran wild, painting vivid images of menace and malevolence. Innocence gave way to trepidation as children hesitated to wander too far from their homes, sensing the lurking darkness eager to embrace them. In the heart of this eerie symphony, the moon held a peculiar sway over the town. Its silvery glow illuminated the fears of the people, casting long, quivering shadows that seemed to writhe with a life of their own. The once familiar landmarks, transformed under this spectral luminescence, appeared as grotesque caricatures of their former selves, taunting the terrified souls who dared to venture outside after dark. With each passing night, the shadows grew bolder, their presence more palpable. A sense of impending doom loomed over the town, carried by the chill wind that whispered secrets in the ears of the unsuspecting. The residents, gripped by an eerie anticipation, knew that their fears were not baseless. Something wicked lurked in the depths of the night, its true nature hidden within the macabre theater of shadows. As Halloween approached, the town held its breath, awaiting the unveiling of the sinister truths that awaited them. Little did they know that the darkness had only just begun to cast its malevolent spell, and the true horrors that awaited them would be far more chilling than anything their imaginations could conjure. The stage was set, the players prepared. Shadows in the moonlight were only the prologue to a nightmarish tale yet to unfold. The haunting laughter. A chill wind swept through the town, carrying with it the haunting echoes of laughter that possessed an otherworldly quality, simultaneously captivating and disturbing. It began as a mere whisper, barely audible, drifting on the fringes of perception. But as the moon reached its zenith, the laughter grew bolder, more insistent, until it pierced the night with a bone-chilling resonance. Residents huddled in their homes, their ears held captive by the eerie symphony of malevolent mirth. The laughter echoed through the streets, bouncing off the walls of the deserted buildings, insinuating itself into the darkest recesses of the mind. It was a laughter devoid of joy, a sinister chorus that wormed its way beneath the skin, unsettling even the most resolute hearts. The townsfolk, unable to resist the macabre allure of the haunting laughter, were drawn to its source like moths to a flickering flame. Their curiosity morphed into fear as they followed the haunting melody, tracing its ethereal tendrils through the deserted streets. Guided by the invisible strings of dread, they found themselves standing before a forgotten relic of the past, an old, weathered circus tent. The tent stood like a spectral monument, its faded canvas billowing gently in the night breeze. Tattered flags, once vibrant and alive with color, now hung limply, drained of their former glory. The laughter, emanating from within, beckoned the townsfolk with a promise of something both alluring and horrifying, pulling them toward the forgotten world of the circus. With hesitant steps, they crossed the threshold, the entrance of the tent creaking in reluctant welcome. The interior unfolded before them, a twisted dreamscape painted in faded hues of crimson and gold. Abandoned and forgotten, it bore the weight of countless performances, its walls whispering tales of long-lost wonders and the spirits that had never truly departed. The air grew heavy with anticipation as the townspeople ventured deeper into the heart of the tent, their gazes fixated on the center stage. There, beneath a solitary spotlight, a figure stood, an embodiment of the nightmares that had plagued their dreams. A clown, garbed in a tattered, garish costume, its face smeared with garish makeup, stared back at them with vacant eyes and a twisted grin that promised both mischief and malice. And then, the laughter reached its crescendo, a cacophony of haunting mirth that seeped into their souls, chilling them to the core. The townspeople, trapped in the grip of both fear and fascination, watched as the clown's laughter echoed off the walls, swirling around them like a tempest, ensnaring their senses. They had unwittingly become the audience in this twisted performance, lured by the siren call of the haunting laughter. Each burst of merriment reverberated through their bones, filling their minds with a dark enchantment. But as the laughter consumed them, whispers of doubt began to flicker within their hearts. They questioned the nature of this cruel amusement and the price they might pay for being captivated by its allure. The haunting laughter, once an irresistible magnet, now became a haunting reminder of their vulnerability. With a shared sense of trepidation, the townspeople understood that to escape this sinister embrace, they must delve deeper into the enigma of the cursed circus and uncover the truth that lay beneath the twisted performance. The stage was set, and the audience awaited their fate, a thrilling, terrifying dance between laughter and horror, where the boundaries of reality would blur, and the true nature of the clown's macabre performance would be revealed. With their hearts pounding in unison, the townspeople steeled themselves for the eerie journey that lay ahead. Step by cautious step, they pressed forward, navigating the labyrinthine corridors of the circus tent. The air grew thicker, charged with an electric energy that crackled along their skin. Each creaking floorboard and rustling curtain seemed to whisper secrets of the circus's dark history. The haunting laughter pursued them relentlessly, its echoes bouncing off the walls, reverberating through their very souls. It toyed with their sanity, a perverse melody that threatened to unravel their fragile grip on reality. Yet they pressed on, compelled by an insatiable need to uncover the truth, to unmask the enigma of the malevolent clowns. In the dimly lit passages, the townspeople caught glimpses of movement, a flash of colorful fabric, a glint of oversized shoes disappearing around a corner. The clowns lurked in the shadows, their presence a constant reminder of the twisted performance they were trapped within. They moved with an unnerving grace, their laughter a symphony of both amusement and derision. As the townspeople delved deeper, the atmosphere grew increasingly unsettling. The walls seemed to breathe, alive with the flickering shadows of past performances. Whispers of forgotten acts and haunted tales echoed through the corridors, fueling the mounting unease. Each step forward carried them closer to the heart of the mystery, where the secrets of the haunting laughter lay hidden. Finally, they reached a chamber bathed in an eerie glow, a makeshift stage set amidst a chaotic backdrop of faded props and broken illusions. The air crackled with anticipation as the townspeople gathered around, their gazes fixed upon the center stage. The haunting laughter intensified, building to a crescendo that sent shivers down their spines. And then, from the darkness, a figure emerged, the ringmaster, clad in a tattered coat adorned with frayed golden trim. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly gleam as he commanded the stage with a commanding presence. With a flourish of his hand, he beckoned the clowns to join him, and they obeyed, their laughter melding into a chilling chorus. The townspeople watched in both horror and fascination as the performance unfolded. The clowns contorted their bodies into grotesque shapes, their movements a twisted dance of madness. They juggled invisible objects, their painted faces contorted into macabre smiles. But as the spectacle unfolded, the true nature of their performance became evident. It was a dance of despair, an expression of the pain and torment that had consumed their souls. The townspeople realized that the haunting laughter was not born of malevolence alone, but of a deep-rooted sorrow that had festered within the clowns. Their performances were a tragic reflection of the darkness they had endured, trapped in an eternal cycle of anguish and mirth. As the final notes of laughter reverberated through the chamber, a somber silence fell upon the townspeople. They had witnessed the depths of despair behind the haunting facade. The clowns, once figures of terror, now stood before them as tragic beings, prisoners of their own haunted existence. Filled with empathy, the townspeople resolved to break the cycle, to release the clowns from their eternal torment. With a collective breath, they summoned their courage and approached the stage, extending hands of compassion to the forlorn performers. The clowns, their eyes shimmering with gratitude and longing, accepted the townspeople's touch. The haunting laughter faded, replaced by a palpable sense of release. The curse that had bound the clowns and ensnared the town began to unravel, dissipating into the ether, into the clowns' maze. Heartbeats quickened as the determined group of friends stood on the threshold of the abandoned circus tent, their eyes fixed upon the foreboding entrance. The air crackled with an electric tension, their breaths mingling with a sense of trepidation and anticipation. They knew that stepping beyond that threshold meant descending into a labyrinthine web of tricks and illusions, where each twist and turn could reveal a malevolent clown lurking in the shadows. With resolute determination, they ventured into the dark unknown, the chill of anticipation sending shivers down their spines. The first steps brought them into a realm of distorted perspectives, where hallways stretched impossibly long and doorways appeared and vanished like mirages. Their senses were assaulted by a cacophony of distorted laughter echoing through the winding corridors, each direction seemingly leading to an infinite array of paths. As they navigated the twisted maze, the friends relied on their wits, intuition, and unwavering trust in each other. Walls seemed to shift and morph, concealing secret passages that would whisk them away to unexpected corners of the circus tent. The clowns, masters of illusion, taunted them with glimpses of their presence, flashes of colorful attire, the haunting echo of footsteps disappearing into the depths of the labyrinth. The air grew heavy with the scent of sawdust and faded grease paint, their nostrils assaulted by the unsettling aroma of an abandoned circus. Their eyes darted from corner to corner, ever watchful for signs of movement or hidden traps. Each corridor presented a new challenge, a hall of distorting mirrors that twisted their reflections into grotesque parodies, or a tightrope suspended precariously above a bottomless chasm, daring them to test their balance and courage. Laughter followed them like a haunting shadow, a constant reminder that they were not alone in this nightmarish playground. It danced upon the edge of their hearing, provoking their nerves, and goading them deeper into the bowels of the circus tent. But the friends pressed on, fueled by a determination to unravel the enigma and lift the dark cloud that had befallen their town. Time lost its meaning within the twisted maze. Minutes stretched into hours, and the boundaries between day and night blurred beneath the ever-present gloom. Exhaustion tugged at their bodies, and doubts flickered in their minds, but they refused to yield to the seductive whispers of surrender. Their bond grew stronger with each challenge they overcame, their unity a shield against the encroaching darkness. Deeper they ventured, until they reached a vast chamber, an abandoned circus ring bathed in a soft, ghostly glow. The stale air hung heavy with anticipation, as if the spirits of the forgotten performers were watching their every move. The silence was broken only by the faint echo of their own breathing, and the distant echoes of haunting laughter that reverberated through the walls. In the center of the ring stood a lone figure, its presence radiating an aura of both malevolence and vulnerability. It was the ringleader, the puppeteer pulling the strings of this twisted carnival. His eyes glinted with a mix of mischief and madness, his voice a raspy whisper that danced upon the air. "Welcome, brave souls," the ringleader's voice resonated through the chamber. "You have come far to face the darkness that plagues this circus. But be warned, there is no escape without triumphing over the trials that lie ahead." The friends exchanged determined glances, their resolve unshaken. They had come too far to turn back now. They stepped into the ring, each footfall a declaration of defiance against the malevolence that surrounded them. The ringleader's lips curled into a wicked smile, his gaze fixed upon the resolute group. He beckoned them closer, guiding them toward a set of gleaming objects laid out before him, an assortment of masks, each adorned with its own twisted design. "Choose your masks," he murmured, his voice a haunting whisper that carried on the still air. "For within these masks lies the key to unlocking the final trial." The friends exchanged glances, their eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. They understood that their choices would determine the path they would undertake and the challenges they would face. With deliberation, each friend selected a mask that resonated with their spirit. A mask with sharp, angular features for the one known for their quick thinking. A mask embellished with delicate swirls for the perceptive soul. A mask adorned with vibrant colors for the one who possessed unyielding optimism. And a mask of subtle shadows for the intuitive dreamer. As they donned their chosen masks, a surge of energy coursed through their veins, empowering them with newfound resolve. The masks seemed to meld with their identities, becoming extensions of their true selves. The ringleader clapped his hands, and the chamber erupted with a whirlwind of activity. The once empty space transformed into a surreal menagerie of obstacles and illusions. The trials had begun. The friends were propelled into a kaleidoscope of challenges, floor panels that shifted beneath their feet, requiring perfect timing and coordination to navigate. Mirrored corridors that played tricks on their perceptions, testing their trust in themselves and each other. And a labyrinth of twisted puzzles, demanding their collective intellect and intuition to unravel. Throughout the trials, the haunting laughter intensified, amplifying the pressure and fueling their determination. They encountered grotesque manifestations of clowns, each more menacing than the last, who pursued them with frenzied laughter and wicked tricks. But the friends, guided by their masks and unwavering camaraderie, outmaneuvered each obstacle, refusing to succumb to fear. As they neared the culmination of the final trial, the ringleader emerged once more, his eyes gleaming with a mix of admiration and amusement. "You have proven yourselves worthy," he declared, his voice echoing with a newfound warmth. "You have overcome the trials that tested your mettle and revealed the strength within. But there is one final test that awaits you." The ringleader motioned toward a towering structure that dominated the center of the ring, a colossal, intricate maze, its walls adorned with enigmatic symbols and shimmering illusions. "Enter the heart of the maze," he continued, his voice tinged with a hint of anticipation. "Find the truth that lies within and unravel the mystery that has plagued this cursed circus." Heart-pounding, the group ventured into the labyrinth, their masks guiding their way. Each twist and turn led them deeper into the enigma, but their determination remained unyielding. As they navigated the shifting paths, their masks seemed to whisper ancient wisdom, guiding them toward the hidden truths that lay in wait. Finally, at the maze's core, they discovered a chamber veiled in shadows. Within its depths stood a forgotten pedestal, upon which rested a weathered book, an artifact of forgotten tales and untold secrets. With trembling hands, one of the friends reached out and opened the book, revealing a script of faded ink and delicate illustrations. As they read the words written upon its pages, a surge of understanding washed over them. The truth of the haunting laughter and the cursed circus unfolded before their eyes, its origins intertwined with a tragedy that had befallen the performers long ago. With newfound clarity, the friends vowed to break the cycle of sorrow and set the spirits of the cursed circus free. They understood that their purpose extended beyond their own journey. They carried the responsibility of ending the haunting laughter that had plagued their town. Gathering their strength, they embarked on a final task, to perform a ritual that would release the trapped spirits and restore balance to the forsaken circus. With each step, they chanted ancient incantations, their voices blending into a harmonious resonance that reverberated throughout the chamber. As the ritual reached its crescendo, a brilliant light burst forth, illuminating the chamber with a radiant glow. The haunting laughter transformed into a chorus of joyous celebration, the culmination of their efforts to reclaim the circus's lost magic. In that transcendent moment, the spirits of the long-forgotten performers emerged from the shadows, their ethereal forms dancing in an ethereal waltz of redemption. They expressed gratitude through graceful movements and whispered words of gratitude, their souls finally released from the shackles of the haunting laughter. The friends stood in awe, witnessing the transcendence of the circus from a place of darkness to one of serenity. As the spirits faded into the luminous glow, they knew that the curse had been broken, the haunting laughter silenced at last. As they made their way out of the maze, the friends emerged from the circus tent transformed by their ordeal. The town, once shrouded in fear and uncertainty, now basked in a renewed sense of hope and unity. The tale of their journey spread throughout the community, carrying with it a reminder of the power of courage, friendship, and compassion. Years passed, and the haunting legend of the cursed circus faded into a distant memory. The town blossomed into a vibrant place, its residents carrying the lessons learned from their encounter with the haunting laughter. Children played fearlessly in the moonlit streets, and laughter filled the air, free from the chilling echoes of the past. The friends, forever bonded by their shared experience, continued their lives, forever changed by the trials they had faced. Each Halloween, they gathered to share stories and reminisce about their extraordinary adventure.